Good afternoon, everyone. This is Knox Henderson, Investor Relations for Great Bear Resources. It is October the 7th. It is a fairly sunny day here in Vancouver, and with me today is President and CEO of Great Bear, Chris Taylor. Hey, Chris.
Knox, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Looks like we have some more exciting news, more high grade, and we've also hit a real key milestone. So maybe you might want to tell everybody what that's all about.
Yeah, thanks. We put out some more really good numbers today. And I guess, at the moment, that's no surprise for Great Bear. What was surprising is the consistency. I think we had today's highlights about just about 19 grams over just over 19 meters. So round numbers, 20 over 20. Very nice stuff. But more importantly is we crossed our 100,000 meter drilling threshold, which is really nice. Since you consider it's less than a year ago, or just over a year that we found the LP fault now.
Yeah, and we've actually still got a long ways to go too in terms of our drilling if we're going to do 300 holes. But maybe you want to show, one of the cross sections that you have on this particular recent news.
Sure. Let me share a screen. I think this is a pretty good thing to look at here. Just one sec.
It's funny when you look at 19.5 grams over 19 meters, and if this was a small junior company, this would be an absolute amazing company maker. For us, it's almost like business as usual.
I've seen companies get up to like $300 or $400 million market caps off of holes that are a lot worse than this.
Yeah.
Anyway, can you see this in front of you, Knox?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so that's this is the densest area of drilling that we have so far along the LP fault, and it's one of these really nice sections where we have these big panels of high-grade gold mineralization. You can see it controlled there up on the screen in front of you. But when you look at the numbers that these sections have generated, like if you look from surface, there you had half an ounce over 25 meters, including an ounce over 12 meters. You look at the next hole down below there, 11 grams over 18 and a half meters. The next hole down below that was, say, like 10 grams over, many meters. And these really wide intervals that we were getting, like, you get like 4.5 grams over 40 meters, this kind of stuff. That was a recent hole in a drill release. And then look down below that, you end up with, there you have it, like 2/3 of an ounce over a few meters, 5 grams over 16 meters. And you stick holes like we put out today on this. Well, that total interval was actually about 7 grams over 54 meters. I mean, that's incredible. I kind of think about it from my mining background. And if you look at that for bulk tonnage gold and you think about the value, if you think what's a gram of gold worth about these days, roughly about $60 US, something like that. So 7 times 6, 42, you have basically $420 rock for 54 meters. That's pretty incredible. So
yeah, what's really amazing too is how this is all shaping up all across the LP fault. The distribution of the gold. When you look at this, and this was in our news release, when you look at of 151 holes that we've done in that grid on the LP fault, 100% are over a gram, 71% are over 5 grams, 55% are over 10 grams. So more than half over 10 grams, 43% over 20 grams, 36% over 30 grams. That is amazing high-grade distribution. This story is really shaping up in that area.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, like we're always very careful with data collection, but it's like shooting the side of a giant barn in a way. You look at the consistency on a section like this, and you can see the high grade, these strain zones that run down the central axis of the LP fault. You can see it's adjacent to these metasediments. Here's your felsic volcanics. Anyway, in that sense, it's repeatable. We hit it again and again, and this section's important because I don't think if you looked around the world on exploration projects today, this is almost not repeatable outside of Great Bear. I'm not aware of any other stories that have this sort of scale and consistency of grade. And you think about the scale on here, I think people tend to kind of miss it, but that's 400 meters right there. From surface to 400 meters that we've drilled so far. And the gold system here is like 400 meters wide in total. The intervals that we're getting of like really nice mineralization are like over 50 meters. I mean, this is really incredible stuff. This is unique in the world to Great Bear, that kind of size and consistency.
Yeah, I guess moving forward for the rest of the year, hopefully people can expect more of the same, and that's a good thing. Beyond the drilling that we're doing on the grid for the LP faults, what can people look forward to in the coming months?
Well, one of the key things that we're going to be putting out in the near future, and we alluded to it in the news release today, is that we're going to get a 3D model out of the geology. And what we're doing, some of the drilling that's going on right now is really model testing. And, it's the kind of thing that you would think only geologists like Bob or myself or the other guys on the team would get excited about, but that's not the case at all. So what we'll do in the coming weeks as we get this thing done is we'll roll out the results of what the high grade gold looks like, what the mid grade and low grade stuff around that looks like. You'll see the geology, you'll see the gold mineralization, see all that stuff. And what that'll do is give you a very good idea what's going to come down the pipe eventually, kind of on the resource side when we get around to finishing this drilling next year and publishing the resource after that. So that'll be a very important time for Great Bear, because we're starting to see broader uptake within the analytical community for the raw size, and importantly, just how much high grade gold we're looking at here on the project and in the LP in particular. So
yeah,
I'll need to wait for that to come out now.
So I won't try to pin you down on the date for the resource estimate. We'll say 2021. And, depending on how things go on the drilling and the timing of everything, but that's obviously very exciting as we're building towards that next year. So I think that covers what we wanted to cover today. Was there anything else?
No, I think that covers the bases. We'll be back circling around with more news in the very near future. So we'll have a bunch of other new stuff to talk about.
Okay, great. And if anyone has any questions, just call me directly at 604-646-8354 or email info@greatbearresources.ca. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.